I'm taking the Suns again. I love what I saw from Devin Booker. Not only was he a scorer, he was a facilitator. He rebounded the ball extremely well in Chris Paul's absence. And I love, the guys, Bridges and Crowder and Cameron Johnson and Artis Payne, DeAndre Ayton, all those guys did their role, Skip. And that's what we've seen from the Suns, Skip. Yes, Devin Booker has been sensational. Yes, Chris Paul, once he got past that injured shoulder in the Lakers game, and I think it was game 5 and 6, he was phenomenal. But all these other guys, you see Crowder, all of a sudden he catch fire from 3. And we see Mikal Bridges, who can defend and make 3. Cam Johnson came in and made a couple of big threes. Those guys are playing really well, and they can defend. So they're going to have to do a better job of keeping the Clippers off the three-point line, because they shoot a high percentage. And the one thing that you don't want to have happen on a team that can shoot a high percentage for 3, for them to get volume, because the percentages says that if you let them get what they got the other day, Skip, I'm surprised that the Clippers actually didn't win this game, because they make 23s. We saw what they did when they made 23s against Utah. They tracked them down. Well, they always shoot a high percentage, but they normally make 13, 14. You start letting them get into that 18, 20, 21, 22 range, you're asking for trouble. But I think Monty Williams will coach these guys to do a better job of running them off the three-point line. And so with that being said, Skip, Terrence Mann came back to reality. He played 27 minutes, had 9 points. A far cry from the 39 minutes that he had Friday night. So I'm going to take the Suns in a very close ball game. Ty Lue will make adjustments. Monty Williams will have to make adjustments on the fly to see what Ty Lue's counter is to what he did on Sunday. But I'm going to take the Suns in a very close ball game.
Okay. History would say you're correct, because no team has ever come from 0-2 down in consecutive playoff series until my Clippers just did it back-to-back against Dallas and then against Utah.
Right.
I preface my remarks with this. If Marcus Morris Sr. is out tonight, then I'm out on the Clippers.
What if he's hobbled?
Well, I don't even know if he's going to be able to go at all, because they said he's more of a game time decision.
Skip, I found it because I was watching it and I saw the little subtitles. They was talking about he might take an injection in the knee during the game, because he didn't come out because they started. If I'm not mistaken, they started Batum, didn't they? When they started somebody.
No, he started.
He's not the second half.
Oh, the second half.
Right, because he didn't come out.
He couldn't come in, but he tried to come in for a little while and couldn't go.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. I got my sources on Kawhi, but I don't have them on Marcus Morris, so I don't know.
Okay.
So my point is, I've told you all year, weirdly, almost inexplicably, this team goes as he goes.
Right.
He's the catalyst.
He's the new heartbeat. He's the new pulse of the team, Skip.
What's that?
He's the new pulse, the heartbeat of the team.
Because he's a baller, man, and he's been there and done all that, and he's a tough guy.
Yes.
He's a mentally tough guy.
He is.
And when he started making threes against Dallas and then against Utah, it just the momentum swung wildly back to the Clippers.
Yep.
So they made 23s in Game 1 on Sunday at Phoenix, and he went 0 for 5. Well, think about this. They were just a shot or two away here or there. It went to the wire. With 20 seconds left, they're down 2. Well, if you get a little bit of Marcus Morris, and he was 3 of 11 for the game and 0 for 5 from 3, if you just get a little bit more of Marcus Morris, I like their chances.
Okay.
But if he cannot go, if he's lost for this game and maybe going forward, then it's enough to lose Kawhi and overcome that. But that would be too much, because that would mean you've lost 2 of your 3 best players. Well, okay, game over. Thank you very much. We'll try again next year. So I preface with that, but I don't have any idea whether he'll be able to go or not. They're saying Chris Paul is not going to go tonight.
Right.
So I'm going to trust he's not going to have a magical reappearance. Right. But he could if he got whatever test needs to happen.
Yeah, I would assume, Skip, because normally it's 14-day protocol. You have the vaccine. It's probably cut in half. You just got to test, and if the test come back negative. But if he's out tonight, could he possibly return Thursday?
Highly possible. I'm not going to write him off tonight.
Okay.
Because the way this protocol, they're so secretive about it, which they should be.
Right,
it's just the way it has to be. That could he get cleared just before? Sure, he could.
Right.
Okay, so let's not rule him completely out. But now we get down to Clippers. If Marcus can go, let's just say he can go, this team has always done it the hardest way. And the hardest way is to go down 0-2, because it's a huge psychological hole because then you go home and you feel like you have to win the next two games or you're done.
You do.
Right?
You
don't want to fall down 3-0, and then you don't want to fall down 3-1.
Right, yeah.
So you have back-to-back must-wins at home. Well, in the Dallas series, they had back-to-back must-wins at Dallas.
Right.
So maybe their psyche is such that they just need this pressure, this hole. They need to dig themselves a hole to dig out of.
Well, Skip, I know they won 4 straight against Utah, but I don't think you will not believe they'll win 4 straight against the Suns.
Okay, we're going to talk more about Devin Booker in a few minutes on the show. But the point is, do I fear Devin Booker a little bit more than I do Luka and or Donovan Mitchell? Yes, I do. I just think there's a touch more mental toughness in him than I see in Luka or Donovan Mitchell, who can come apart in fourth quarters. If you track the fourth quarters of the Luka Clippers games and the Donovan Clippers games, go look at what those two players did in the fourth quarters of 7 games and 6 games. Just check it out. I won't bore you with the minute details, but trust me, they cooled way off in the fourth quarters. Their output wasn't nearly what it was in the first 3 quarters.
And that was the thing, Skip. Okay, I'll let you do your thing. You're doing all your thing. But guess what happens when we start sending these traps and you try to kick it to Bogey and you try to kick it to Ingles and you kick it to O'Neal and they've been out of rhythm because you've had it going. Clank, clank, clank.
And that's what happened finally in Game 6. Donovan was nowhere to be found in the fourth quarter, nor was Jordan Clarkson, who had one of the hottest stretches in the second quarter I've ever witnessed.
17 straight.
I've never seen anything quite like it.
Yeah.
Like I was tweeting like this is the Jordan Clarkson game.
Yeah.
And it wound up being the Terrence Mann game?
Yeah.
Who saw that coming?
Nobody.
Okay, and by the way, quick point of order. You said Terrence Mann came back to earth. Well, did he come back to earth? Because what happened was he shot 4 times in Game 1 at Phoenix. He made 3. He made all 3 of his threes.
Right.
I don't think he came back to earth. He just didn't get the shots. He didn't get the opportunity.
Well, I don't think he was aggressive because if you think about it, Skip, not only was he hitting threes on Friday night against the Jazz, he put the ball on the floor and went to the hole. It got to the point, they're like, Rudy who? Everybody was trying him at the rim. Nobody was intimidated by that Rudy. Because normally, Skip, Rudy goes, well, we got to stay outside the paint. That's Rudy, man. You know the Stifle Tower, man. Defensive player of the year. They're like, and ever since Terrence Mann dunked on him, that was the difference. Because, Skip, everybody was the 4-5. Because everybody felt like they had a lane to the basket.
Okay. I was saying the same thing when you guys were playing Phoenix in the first round. Because in games 2 and 3, you guys attacked DeAndre Ayton like he was a statue. You tore him up to where I was saying, does he only get to play on the offensive end? Because it was a super highway to the basket for everybody, starting with LeBron.
Right.
So it's doable and fixable, especially when your coach is Ty Lue and your second in command is Chauncey Billups. And I hope he's getting a job because he's in the midst of a lot of them.
He deserves so. Skip, but I think the biggest thing is that Ayton is different than any other big that they played against. You know, Andre Drummond is not the offensive threat that DeAndre Ayton is. Rudy Gobert is not even close. And I think the thing is that what you saw is that people look like, oh, man, Boogie. Boogie had 11 points, but Boogie don't play any defense. He was a minus 11 in 13 minutes because DeAndre Ayton was 4-4 against Boogie in the short little time that he was in the ball game. So now you have to pay attention to him. And what Ayton has done is that he didn't average the points and the rebounds like Yoke, but he held him in check. He didn't let Yoke go get 38 and 20 and 10. So, and you saw what he did. You saw what he did against the Lakers. He was basically a 2015 guy. So if you could continue to get that, Booker's going to give you what Booker. Now the other guys, Mikal Bridges, Crowder, Torrey Craig, all those guys, because remember, Skip, against the Nuggets, the first 2 or 3 games, the most shots that somebody attempted was 14.
Yep.
And everybody had double figures. And again, happened Sunday. 6 guys in double figures. So they are a threat. Book's going to get his. The question is, when the rubber needs to meet the road, will those other guys succumb to the pressure? Dre Crowder has been in these moments before. He's playing extremely well. Since game, 4 against the Lakers, Jay Crowder's been as good as anybody now, obviously, he hadn't been Chris Paul, but he's been one of their better players offensively because we know he's mainly a D guy.
Okay.
But he's been phenomenal.
Okay, so please explain this to me.
Okay.
Why did my Clippers have to turn around off their biggest win in franchise history, getting to their first conference finals in 51-year history of the Clippers? They had to turn around in a day and a half and play game one at Phoenix.
Right.
Look at what the Bucks got to do. They won Saturday night. They get all the way until Wednesday.
Right.
How about Atlanta? They win Sunday night and they get all the way to Wednesday. The Clippers get screwed by the league by being forced to go in a day and a half. So wait a second. You go from Friday night euphoria to Sunday afternoon? That's absurdly wrong.
Got to do it.
Well, we
got to speed this thing up.
Okay,
We got the
right.
Olympics coming.
Okay, so they got burned, so they lost game one.
Yeah.
But now they'll have a little fresher legs and a little fresher minds because they got the last round out of their systems.
Right.
Now we get to adjust. Now we get to see how Ty Lue comes up with a scheme to at least calm down Devin Booker. And again, I fear him. I believe in him. But I believe there are ways to calm him down, to keep him from going 40-plus. If he goes 40-plus, it's hard to beat them.
Right.
But I don't think he'll get 40-plus. And I do believe if Marcus Morris plays, that the Clippers can make 23s again.
Right.
And I do believe in playoff P. You don't, I do. And I think it's his time to rise and shine tonight in the fourth quarter the way he did in the third quarter of game one.
Well, I still wonder what you don't know every night what you're going to get from playoff P, especially down the stretch. Because you saw what you done. Okay, what'd you get?
Almost averaged 10 points fourth quarter against Utah.
Hold on. I'm looking. Sunday, he had 1 point.
Tired. Ran out of
No,
gas.
no.
Yeah,
No.
tired.
Hold on. Time out.
Tired.
I remember a guy.
Nobody going into Sunday had played more playoff minutes than playoff P.
I remember a guy said that he was tired, and you said guys couldn't get tired. Not what you told me now.
Yeah, but that's the best player on the planet, and I put quotes around it, says you. Nobody ever said playoff P was the best player on the planet. He's just human. He's mortal.
So, in other words, the best player on the planet can't get tired, right?
Well,
be careful now. Be careful what you say now. Anything that you say can't be
if
held
he
against
keeps
you.
playing 48 minutes night after night after night, and he plays 1-on-5 against a really good defensive team, then, yeah, Kevin Durant deserves to get tired in the overtime of Game 7.
You don't remember LeBron? How many times have LeBron played 1-on-5?
1-on-5?
Yeah, how many
Never.
times? Oh, so
Never.
So Delly, Miles Goff. Don't do that, Skip.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do that. Don't even do that, Skip.
Delly, I mean, he was a cult hero, and I was there in Cleveland in 2015. They loved them some
I
Delly.
know the Delly tray. I get all that, Skip. Don't do that. Don't do
He
this.
saved LeBron's bacon in games, what was it, 2 and 3? Really.
He had to put back.
Yep.
He had to put back. But they didn't say no. LeBron, stop that.
Okay.
Clippers. I got the Clippers. I got 105, 102. They break the chain.
Can we get a case on that?
1-1.
Can we get a
Yep,
case?
I'll do one case
One
because I
case?
believe in my Clippers. Here we
Write
go.
that down. All
Yep.
right.
And by the way, I get the points, right?
No.
You can throw that in quickly after you say we got a
they're
case.
5-point underdogs.
I appreciate
Why
that,
would
Jeff.
I just give you
Because
a case?
you're confident. I see the confidence in your face over there, Brewer. You think you're slick. I'm confident.
I actually
think I'm
feel
slick.
it.
Yeah,
up
you
I'm
think
taking
here.
the hopeless underdog.
Oh, they're hopeless.
feel
now.
it.
And okay,
Confidence.
wait, there's a caveat to this bet.
Tell me.
If Marcus Morris cannot start this game, we have no bet.
What about if he plays?
If he plays,
gotta
I'll do it.
Okay.
Whether or not
Okay.
he starts. Fair enough. I'll give you that, Skip.
Yep.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.